To everybody's time. Want to be respectful to everybody's time, so we will begin. So, firstly, I want to say good morning, good afternoon to all of you, wherever you are participating across the country. My name is Eugene Gutierrez, and I am the Executive Director for Threads of Life. Thank you for joining us here today as we honor the National Day of Mourning. Today, we remember workers who have died, who were injured, or made ill because of their job. And we dedicate this ceremony to the families who are living with loss and anyone impacted by a work-related tragedy. I know that some of you joining us today are Threads of Life members directly affected by a tragedy. Others may be connected to a loss through your work, and others of you just have good hearts and support the work that Threads of Life does. It means so much to all of us at Threads of Life to know that we are part of a broader community that not only cares about our losses, but is committed to preventing future tragedies. So thank you all for being here. I invite you to have a candle ready later on to light for our moment of silence in just a few minutes. And I also invite you to type into the chat the name of someone you are honoring or remembering today, or a special thought or sentiment that you would like to share with others during the ceremony. Since I joined Threads of Life, I've been honored to meet and work with many of our members, and especially those new families who are just finding our organization. That's given me an understanding of what Day of Mourning means to workers and their families living in the aftermath of a tragedy. While Threads of Life honors the Day of Mourning, it existed long before our organization. In 1984, unions in Sudbury, Ontario adopted the day as one to publicly acknowledge workplace injuries, illnesses, and deaths. And later on April 28, 1991, following the passage of an act in Parliament, Canada recognized its first National Day of Mourning for persons killed or injured in the workplace. Today, for our members, it's a chance to honor their loved ones or their own experience, and also an opportunity to help others understand the lifelong impacts of a workplace tragedy. Our hope is always, always to build a world where nobody else has to experience this. At this point in time today, we've invited Todd Smith to share a little bit of his personal experience with workplace tragedy and the importance of Day of Mourning. Todd is the chair of Threads of Life's board of directors, as well as a family member and longtime volunteer speaker. Todd works as vice president for GFL Environmental, which has become a partner of Threads of Life. So at this time, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Todd. Over to you, Todd.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Thanks, Eugene, for the kind words and introduction. Every year on April the 28th, flags across this country are lowered to half-mast. We gather in community centers, at monuments, and in our workplaces to observe the National Day of Mourning. It is a day officially recognized by the Canadian government to remember those who have been killed, injured, or made ill on the job. But for many of us here, these aren't just statistics or names on a plaque. They are empty chairs at our dinner tables. They are voices we no longer hear, and the futures that were cut short. I am one of those people. I am here today not just as a citizen, but as a grieving sibling. Years ago, my brother went to work just like any other day. He was a hard worker, the kind of person who didn't like to complain or make waves. On that day, he was asked to perform a task, a job he knew was risky. He knew the safety equipment required for the task wasn't available. He pointed it out, was told to do it anyway. He wanted to be a team player. He wanted to provide. So he did the job. And at the end of the shift, while the other families were welcoming home their loved ones for dinner, our door stayed closed. My brother never came home. This tragedy didn't happen because of a freak accident. It happened because safety was treated as an option rather than a right. It happened because getting the job done was prioritized over a human life. In the wake of that loss, my family felt like we were unraveling. When a workplace tragedy strikes, the ripple effect is devastating. It touches parents, spouses, children, friends, many, many individuals. This is why today I serve as the chair for Threads of Life. We are a national charity dedicated to supporting families who have suffered from a workplace fatality, life-altering injury, or occupational disease. We call ourselves Threads of Life because we help families knit back together their lives that have been torn apart. Through peer support and community, we help people realize that they are not alone. But more importantly, we give those families a voice to demand change. The motto of the Day of Mourning is mourn for the dead, fight for the living. So we mourn today because we have to, but we must fight tomorrow because we can. No worker should ever have to choose between their paycheck and their life. No supervisor should ever send a worker into a situation without the proper tools, training, and protection. Doing the job anyway is never worth a life. If you see something unsafe, speak up. If you're an employer, realize that your greatest asset isn't your equipment, it's the people that operate it. Safety isn't a box to check, it's a promise you make to every family that their loved ones will return home at the end of the day. As we observe a moment of silence today, I ask you to think about my brother and think of the thousands others like him. Let their memories be the fuel that drives us to make zero workplace tragedy a reality, not just a goal. Let's ensure that next April 28th, there are fewer names to be added to the list. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for sharing. As hard as it is, stories like yours help all of us to understand the impact of a workplace tragedy. We know that it's important to continue to say the names of our loved ones. And as I can see in the chat, everyone is welcome to do that. Also, we encourage you to pop over to our Facebook page later and also share there. At many of our Threads of Life events, we light candles in honor of lives forever changed. And for the day of mourning, we chose a candle lighting ceremony for its symbolism. The candle is a symbol of hope and healing. A candle lights the way for others to see. And light will always prevail in the dark. The candle flame brings warmth in the cold. The candle's flame always reaches upward and gives us a source of strength and guidance. At this time, I'm going to light my candle now, and I invite you to do the same if you can do so safely, or to join me in watching the flame. I now ask you to observe a moment of silence in honor and memory of workers who died or were injured or made ill. I'd like to take this time to thank each of you for being here today, to share this moment as a community. This community is made up of families, individuals affected by workplace tragedy, but also this community of ours, it's made up of people who care deeply and work tirelessly every day to prevent further tragedies. If you are new to Threads of Life or know of someone who may benefit from our programs and services, please reach out to us for more information. Help spread the word. It's important to us and it's important to me that those individuals know that they're not alone. So for those who've lost a loved one to a workplace fatality, injury, or illness, it's important for us all to recognize your grief. Again, I invite you all to visit our Facebook page later today if you'd like to share a tribute. I personally want to thank each and every one of you on behalf of the entire team at Threads of Life, our board of directors. Thank you for joining us today, and I wish you all a gentle afternoon. Take good care. And with that, that concludes our virtual Day of Mourning ceremony. Thank you, everyone.